Hello, Merengue family. Like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything about Real Madrid. In this video, we'll discuss a huge scoop at Real Madrid. But before that, let's talk about some very important topics for our beloved club. Real Madrid has always stood out for its ability to detect world-class young talents and turn them into international superstars. This strategy seems poised to propel the club to a new level with the recruitment of Chris Rigg, one of the most exciting promises in British football in recent years. The young midfielder, currently at Sunderland, has attracted interest from several of Europe's top clubs, but it seems that Real Madrid is leading the race to secure his transfer. At just 17 years old, Rigg has already demonstrated impressive maturity and vision on the field, captivating football experts. His potential is far from being fully realized. His ability to distribute the ball, control the pace of the game, and influence team dynamics has placed him on the watch list of the continent's most powerful clubs. But it is Real Madrid that seems most determined to invest in his future. It is undeniable that Real Madrid has made the development and integration of young promises an essential part of its philosophy in recent seasons. Since the arrival of Vinicius Jr., who has evolved into one of the team's brightest stars, to betting on players like Eduardo Camavinga and Aurelien Tchouameni, the club has shown that it trusts young talents to remain competitive on all fronts. In this context, Chris Rigg seems to be the next big target of the White Quarry, and it is not difficult to understand why. His playing style, tactical intelligence, and presence on the field make him a future bet that could offer Real Madrid a strategic advantage in the coming years. Real Madrid's interest in Rigg has surfaced at a crucial moment as the young Englishman begins to stand out in the Championship, the second division of English football. Although relatively young, Rigg has already shown the maturity needed to handle the pressures of professional football. His ability to take on responsibilities in midfield has made him indispensable for his team. His ability to recover balls, distribute play, and his vision to connect with attackers make him a complete midfielder with an impressive projection. Often, he has shown surprising calmness and clarity of thought for a player of his age, and these characteristics make him the type of footballer who could perfectly fit into Real Madrid's scheme. Of course, it's not just his technical qualities that make Rigg so attractive to Real Madrid. It's also his mentality. Over the years, Real Madrid has succeeded in building its success not only through big-name transfers, but also through the winning mentality of its players. The club's culture is centered on excellence and the constant desire to be the best in everything it undertakes. The players who have triumphed at the Bernabeu have been those who not only had talent, but also a relentless mentality, an insatiable desire to win, and a tireless work ethic. Chris Rigg seems to possess all these attributes, making him the type of player who could perfectly fit into Real Madrid's system. His hunger for success and motivation to reach the top are key elements that will ensure his success in such a demanding club. The fact that Real Madrid is ready to make a significant investment in Rigg underscores the seriousness of its interest. Although the young midfielder has not yet played in the Premier League, his performances in the Championship have been so impressive that they have caught the attention of clubs across Europe. Tottenham, one of the main competitors in the race for his transfer, has put a considerable offer of €45 million on the table, a figure that reflects their confidence in the player's potential. However, Real Madrid, with its economic power and ability to offer Rigg not only a lucrative contract, but also the opportunity to play in one of the world's most prestigious clubs, has a considerable advantage in the negotiations. It is true that Tottenham is determined to recruit Rigg, but the London club does not have the same history, prestige, or ambitions as Real Madrid. While Tottenham is in a phase of reconstruction and has struggled to achieve success in Premier League, Real Madrid remains one of the most competitive and successful clubs in world football. The opportunity to join the White Club, with its history, infrastructure, and sports project, is an offer hard to refuse for any young footballer. Moreover, the fact that Real Madrid is known for its ability to develop young talents and turn them into global stars is a factor that weighs heavily in Rigg's decision. The player knows that if he joins Real Madrid, he will not only have the opportunity to play in the team of his dreams, but also to train alongside some of the world's best footballers and be part of a project that aspires to win everything on all fronts. If the transfer materializes, Rigg could have the opportunity to integrate into the first team in a short time. Real Madrid, with its tradition of integrating young promises, would not be unfamiliar with its development through its training philosophy and quarry system. The club is giving great opportunities to young footballers who, like Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Camavinga, have managed to secure a place in the starting lineup and shine in high-level competitions. Rig, with his ability to control the midfield and his vision of the game, could become an essential piece for Real Madrid in the coming years. So, what do you think, Madrid supporters? Are you ready to see Chris Rig in Real Madrid's midfield? As always, the club has in its hands the opportunity to incorporate a player of great quality and potential, and the question is whether Rig will be able to follow in the footsteps of other great names that have shown at the club. Real Madrid's future depends on its ability to continue recruiting young talents who can contribute to the team's success in the coming decades. Without a doubt, he could be one of those key pieces in the club's future. Real Madrid remains a global reference in talent detection, and recruiting Chris Rig will be further proof of its ability to maintain its legacy of greatness intact. What do you think, Madrid supporters? Are you excited about what Rig can bring to the team? The second piece of news concerns a possible arrival of another very promising youngster at Real Madrid. Florian Wirtz is undoubtedly one of the most fascinating and promising talents to have emerged in European football in recent years. The German midfielder, just 21 years old, is already a key player for Bayer Leverkusen and is at the center of a fierce battle between Europe's top clubs. Although several elite teams, including Manchester City, have been chasing him, Wirtz's future could be much closer to the White House, the home of the champions. Rumors about his possible transfer to Real Madrid are gaining momentum, and the player himself seems to be leaning toward the option of joining the White Giant, the most successful and prestigious club in the world. The fact that Wirtz has decided to reject Manchester City, one of the most dominant teams in the Premier League in recent years, and is willing to join Real Madrid speaks volumes about the intentions and ambitions of the German midfielder. While Pep Guardiola's team remains one of the most feared and successful in the world, the appeal of Real Madrid seems simply insurmountable for many footballers, and Florian Wirtz is no exception. Real Madrid is not just a club with a history full of titles, but it also offers the opportunity to be part of a team that fights for the most important trophies at the national and international levels. It's not just about money, but about prestige, Champions League glory, competing in one of the toughest leagues in the world, and being surrounded by a team of world-class players considered among the best on the planet. At Real Madrid, Wirtz would find an ideal place to develop his game and reach the next level in his career. The White Squad, renewed in recent years with quality players like Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, and Eduardo Camavinga, among others, has paved the way for a new generation of footballers called to lead the club to new heights. However, a key piece is still missing in the midfield, and Florian Wirtz seems to be the man for the job. With his incredible ability to dictate the pace of the game, his exceptional field vision, and his skill in scoring goals and providing assists, the young German fits perfectly with what Real Madrid needs in this new phase of its history. With players like Luka Modric and Toni Kroos nearing the end of their careers and Case Moreau having left the club some time ago to join Manchester United, Real Madrid needs a new generation of midfielders capable of taking the reins of the team in the near future. Wirtz, with his youth and potential, embodies exactly what the White Club needs, a player capable of contributing from day one and being a key piece for the future. His ability to get the ball to the right positions, his agility in finding spaces, and his tactical intelligence make him an attractive option for Carlo Ancelotti, who has always had an eye for discovering and exploiting young talents. The possibility of recruiting Wirtz also reflects Real Madrid's ability to attract the best players in the world. Over the years, the White Club has shown that it is a magnet for great figures, and although times have changed and clubs in the Premier League and other leagues are investing enormous sums of money, Real Madrid remains a club that many footballers dream of representing. The club's history, infrastructure, stadium, of course, and the possibility of winning Champions League titles are just some of the reasons why players of Wirtz's caliber are willing to leave behind tempting options to join the Madrid project. In the same way that the recruitment of other young talents in the past, such as Rodrigo, Vinicius, or Camavinga, Wirtz's arrival at Real Madrid would represent a bet on the future, a bet on a player who has everything it takes to become a global star in the coming years. Real Madrid supporters, always demanding and passionate, will not hesitate to welcome Wirtz with open arms, recognizing that this type of transfer not only strengthens the team, but also the club's vision for the future. Real Madrid is a club that has always known how to integrate young players into its squad and make them shine under the pressure of great titles. And Wirtz could be another example of this. The fact that Bayern Munich has also shown interest in Wirtz only underscores what is at stake. The German club is one of the most successful in Europe and has a solid work structure that has imposed itself on the entire continent. However, the appeal of Real Madrid seems to be a decisive factor for the young German. It's not just about being on the best team, but about being a club that offers the opportunities to shine at the highest level. In this sense, Real Madrid offers something that Bayern Munich, despite its success, cannot match: the opportunity to be part of an institution with legendary history and to continue adding glorious chapters to that history. Real Madrid's midfield, which has been one of the fundamental pillars of the club's success for more than a decade, will require a complete renewal in the coming years. Players like Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro have been key to the club's successes, but time waits for no one, and it is necessary to find new players capable of carrying the torch. Florian Wirtz would be an excellent successor to continue the tradition of world-class midfielders who have shown at the Bernabeu. Moreover, his youth and versatility would allow him to adapt to different systems and styles of play, giving him a great advantage in a team like Real Madrid, which is not afraid to experiment and adapt to new tactical trends. The question now is how Madrid supporters will react to the possibility of Florian Wirtz becoming their next big signing. We know that Real Madrid supporters are passionate and demanding, and their response to this transfer will be crucial. What do you think, Madrid supporters? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing this young talent at Real Madrid? Do you think Wirtz can be a key piece in the club's future? Without a doubt, his arrival would be a clear sign that Real Madrid continues to look to the future, seeking players capable not only of maintaining the level of excellence that has characterized the club, but also of leading the team to new successes. The third piece of news concerns the possible return of Zinedine Zidane to Real Madrid. In the corridors of the Santiago Bernabeu, the air is filled with anticipation. Real Madrid, always at the forefront of world football, is preparing one of the most important decisions in its recent history. After years of glory with Zinedine Zidane as coach, many wondered if it was possible to see the Frenchman at the helm of the team again. Now, according to various internal sources in the club, conversations with Zidane are more advanced than ever, and the return of the mythical coach and former merengue player seems on the verge of becoming reality for the next season. Real Madrid finds itself at a crossroads after the departure of several of its historic pillars, such as Cristiano Ronaldo and Sergio Ramos, and with the inevitable generational transition that the team is undergoing, the White Club has decided that it is time to make a turn on the bench. Although Carlo Ancelotti has been part of the recent conquest of the 14 Champions League, and his work has been recognized by many in the club's backrooms, there is a perception that it is time to find a new leader to propel Madrid into a new cycle of success. The club's first options to succeed Ancelotti were clear. Names like Xabi Alonso, the current coach of Bayer Leverkusen, were on the list of potential candidates. However, Alonso, who was one of the great hopes to take the reins of Madrid, decided to stay in Germany to continue his project at Leverkusen. This decision by Xabi has reopened the way for a return that, although not part of the initial plans, has gained momentum in recent days. The return of Zinedine Zidane to the Real Madrid bench is a return that, although not initially planned, has gained momentum in recent days. Zidane has always been a beloved figure among Madrid supporters. His story with the club goes far beyond his technical skill on the field. His legacy as a coach is even more impressive. The Frenchman, after his time as a player, where he was a key piece in the conquest of the 2002 Champions League with a historic goal against Bayer Leverkusen, took the reins of the team in 2016 after the departure of Rafa Benitez. Since his arrival, Zidane has led the team to new heights, winning 3 consecutive Champions Leagues, a historic feat in modern football that made Madrid the undisputed king of Europe. In addition to his 3 Champions Leagues, Zidane won a Liga, a Copa del Rey, and multiple European and Spanish Super Cups, cementing his place in the club's history. His relationship with the players has always been close, direct, but also marked by respect. Zidane has known how to maintain harmony in a locker room full of stars, something that few coaches have managed to do so effectively His tactical style, although less strict than that of other coaches, was based on defensive solidity, deadly counterattacks, and the ability to get the best out of each player regardless of their age or physical condition. Under his leadership, players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, and Sergio Ramos shone at an exceptional level, and Madrid reached heights of success that many thought were unattainable. Now, Zidane returns as the ideal option to lead the new generation of Real Madrid. Although he is not the club management's first choice, his name has gained importance in recent weeks. The club's top management has made the decision that if Ancelotti leaves, the man who can bring glory back to Madrid is none other than Zidane. This decision, although surprising to some, has undeniable logic. Zidane is not just a club man, but he also has the approval of the majority of the supporters. Madrid supporters will never forget the titles won under his leadership, and many consider that his return could mark the beginning of a new era of success at the club. The question now is how Zidane will approach this new challenge. The context has changed. If he had a team full of consolidated stars during his first tenure, today, Madrid is in full transition with a mix of veterans and young promises. Players like Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Eduardo Camavinga, and Aurelien Tchouameni have shown enormous potential, but they still need an authority figure to guide them in crucial moments. Zidane, with his experience and ability to manage high-demand groups, seems to be the ideal person to do so. Zidane's challenge will not only be to lead the young players, but also to maintain the team's competitiveness in the Liga and in Europe. The growing dominance of the Premier League, with teams like Manchester City and Liverpool, and the constant struggle with teams like Barcelona and Atletico de Madrid in the Liga, make Zidane's task difficult. However, the French coach has demonstrated in the past that he can handle the pressure of being the coach of the world's greatest club, and this gives him a great advantage in his return. A key point of his return will be the management of the team's veterans. Players like Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, and Karim Benzema have been fundamental to Madrid's success over the past decade. Despite their age, they remain elite players, and Zidane knows how to get the best out of them, as he demonstrated during his first stint as coach. It will be essential for Zidane to know how to balance the experience of these players with the energy of the youngsters, creating a team that is both competitive and renewed. Additionally, Zidane will have to face the challenge of expectations. Madrid supporters always demand the best, and under Zidane's leadership, Real Madrid is expected to be among the best teams in Europe. The pressure to win, especially the Champions League, will always be high, but Zidane is used to this. His experience at the club and his ability to manage the players' anxiety in decisive moments will be crucial for Madrid to regain its throne in Europe. On the other hand, Zidane's return also has a very strong emotional component. The relationship between Zidane and the Madrid supporters is special. They consider him a true idol, both for his legacy as a player and for his achievements as a coach. His style of play and presence on the field have always been synonymous with quality, and his ability to make judicious decisions in the most complicated moments has turned him into one of the most successful coaches in the club's history. His return would be a reunion with glory, a return to greatness, and a new opportunity for Madrid to become the king of Europe once again. Finally, the question that all Madrid supporters are asking is, will Zidane be the man to lead Real Madrid to new titles? Will he be able to replicate the successes of his first tenure and bring the club back to the top of world football? Supporters are expectant but also full of hope. Zidane is synonymous with success for Madrid, and his return could mark the beginning of a new era. What do you think, Madrid supporters? Do you think Zidane is the ideal man to return to the Madrid bench? Will he be the key to Real Madrid regaining its place as the best team in Europe? Supporters have an important role in this process, and their support will be essential for this return to be successful. Leave your opinion in the comments.